There's some potentially really big breaking news out of the January 6th committee this afternoon about what we and, more importantly, the whole country might see and learn and how they might see and learn it in those upcoming public hearings, some of which will take place in prime time. Excerpts from tapes, and after nearly 1,000 interviews, there are a lot of them. Politico's reporting that the January 6th committee has videotaped witness depositions. And Politico's also reporting that even though the committee's plans for the tapes are not clear, they do have them. According to one person familiar with the investigation, quote, "You'd have to be woefully naive if you don't think they're going to use some of the videos at the hearings." Betsy, this is your reporting. Take us through it.
Yeah, that's right. What we know is that the Select Committee, over the course of this probe, has collected countless hours of videotaped depositions from a host of witnesses who participated in their probe. They have people on camera describing what happened before, during, and after the January 6th attack on the Capitol. I can't at this point report which specific individuals are on tape, but I can tell you it's a lot of people and it's important people. So that creates a moment of real discomfort for some of these witnesses who know right now they're kind of in a waiting game to figure out exactly what clips or portions of the testimony, of the deposition testimony that they provided to the Select Committee will become public, when those portions will become public, and in what way. The Select Committee has been pretty quiet about the fact that they are going to have a multimedia component to their report, although that has been reported earlier this year that there will be something multimedia, that it won't just be hearings, people sitting behind desks, as well as a written report. Remember, a top priority for the Select Committee is making this report interesting and engaging. Congressman Raskin has said he kind of wants it to be the opposite of the Mueller report. What could be more interesting and engaging than people who have first and secondhand knowledge of what happened that day talking about the events on video? Again, we don't know what the Select Committee is going to do with all these tapes, but they're sitting on some pretty good content.
It's so amazing, Basil, that it is the failed attempts to hold Donald Trump accountable for conduct that by the end wasn't in dispute by anybody. Nobody disputed that Donald Trump did the things Don McGahn said he did, or that were footnoted and sourced back to all of Donald Trump's own staff, either on the campaign or in the West Wing, through meticulous sources. But we have from that lesson, which failed so spectacularly to rein him in or curb his conduct, that the day after Mueller testifies, he calls Zelensky and asks for the very same thing that was asked for on Vindman dirt on the Biden family. What are your thoughts about this sort of, good news, bad news aspect of lessons learned and perhaps benefiting the 1-6 committee?
Well, I think the lessons learned are really important because, and I said this the last time I was on the program, that, this isn't just a big lie. It's a big conspiracy. There is no way that all of this activity could occur without videotape, without taped conversations. The fact that you have interference with elections, an insurrection at the Capitol, and the recruitment of candidates, and with provided messaging to go out there and show fealty to Donald Trump in these elections. This is all connected, and it's important that this committee really bring all of this to light. And I say that because we just went to an event with the Hunter College alum, the warrior poet Audre Lorde, celebrating her life. And there's a quote from her that I think is so apropos here, which is that your silence will not protect you. And for all of the folks who are coming out, albeit perhaps late, talking about what happened in the administration and giving us the opportunity to hold folks accountable, it's incredibly important at this point in time. But I want to make this last point that it's not just about what Donald Trump did in the White House and said to his generals, because I believe even to some extent there's going to be some kind of guardrail there. What concerns me is how that his words metastasize and seep into our political groundwater, such that Kyle Rittenhouse does go out and kill protesters. And so it's all of this, it's all of that, it's all that we're trying to consider here, not just what comes out of the president's mouth, but who he's inspired. All of that entire sort of infrastructure needs to be held accountable. So that's why I'm so glad that so much is coming out and being put on the table.
Yeah, I mean, look, and this is the whole point, Carol Leonnig. This is the whole point. It's not about what Mark Esper told us about the last time. It's about what Donald Trump and his allies have put in place to make it so much easier to overturn the result of an election should he lose next time. He won't even necessarily need the Pentagon next time. He's wiring Secretary of State's offices. He's purging state legislatures, not just of Democrats, but of Republicans who can tell the truth about anything, but especially the 2020 election. What do you sense, Carol Leonnig, the focus of this committee is as it's sort of rounding third base and getting ready to show its work to the public on this national security threat of Donald Trump's anti-democratic seeding all over the country?
Well, the first thing you've brought up on a buffet for everyone to see in very tasty plates, and that is, let's make this story clear. Let's see, per Betsy's reporting, the tapes that narrate in powerful form what really happened on the days and months leading up to January 6th, the way a current president tried to use the lever of power to stay in power and block the actual result of the American people's choice. Next, I think is the most important thing for this committee is making recommendations that gird our democracy, that shield it. I'm not saying this is what I'm recommending. This is what I'm hearing from inside the committee. What they view as the most important thing is the recommendations so we saran wrap democracy so that a president isn't able to push those levers in this dramatic way. Think if Mark Esper, Mark Milley, and Bill Barr, I know you're shocked when I give you that list. Think about the choices they could have made differently. Think about the choices they could have made differently where we would be today. Think about the choice that Vice President Pence made that had he not been so furious, we would not have seen the certification of that election. So I think you're going to see, and this is tying together the two segments and a point that Basil and also Tim made, which is, okay, this democracy was stress tested to the nth degree. The 25th Amendment, Mark Esper could have been part of a group that said, wait a minute, this is bonkers, and we need to all get together at the Burger King tomorrow night and vote on the 25th Amendment with or without the vice president. And one of those recommendations I'm hearing is going to be about exactly that. When do you say, I've had enough of hearing the president say we're going to shoot people? I need all of you to gather with me to discuss whether he is appropriate to lead this country, whether he's a danger to the country.